arrived at the gates of Hillis. This peaceful mining planet in System 4 is now completely encircled by the Dom's armada. General Keck, Supreme Commander of the Alpha Forces, would like to take this opportunity to address a final message to the population.
Beyond Good and Evil is an action-adventure platformer that came out in 2003 for the PlayStation 2, PC, Xbox, and GameCube. The plot of the story goes as Jade and Pey'J, I believe his name is, the pig, essentially, are taking care of the children of Hillis orphaned by the Dom Z. When meditating with one of the orphans outside, a Dom Z siren sounds. Jay rushes to turn the power on for the shield, but discovers that it has been deactivated due to a lack of funds. The lighthouse is left vulnerable to the meteor shower, and several Dom Z creatures manage to abduct a number of the orphans. Jade is forced to fight these creatures to free the children with Pey'J, I believe it is, help. She then defeats a Dom Z monster that emerges from a meteor crater. The Alpha sections arrive just after Jade defeats the monster, leaving Pey'J to grumble that they were late as usual.
Sweet Jesus, jellies!
Now, the game has a very fluid combat system, and even as you utilize a camera to snap photos of the various creatures you encounter throughout the game.
Newsflash. The war as if you were there. Doms have intensified their attacks on Hillis. In spite of our protective shields, the enemy...
Hi, Jade. I see Secundo already talked to you about the job. The war is taking its toll.
To be uploaded essentially for research. The game incorporates different puzzle mechanics as well, but the ones we encountered early in the game weren't overly difficult and had us moving along through the story at a good pace. I am someone who likes to explore everything and collect everything in every area I encounter in every game, or at least I try. I blame it essentially on Ocarina of Time. I mean, that's the first game where I just had to bust open every single pot and just find every single thing. The nice thing about Beyond Good and Evil, while there seems to be different pathways in several areas to explore, the game doesn't have you go out of your way to essentially find those extra items and find those different things that you need essentially to upgrade your bow. The enemies and creatures in general all look very unique. Even the color grading, music, characters, it all feels wholly original, even in 2023 to Beyond Good and Evil. The amount of time me and Rocky played, we were able to get near the first boss, but also were able to use the boat to move about, which moving the boat can feel a little off, but you are able to upgrade it, so it makes sense to have you start with the base model. I really enjoyed going back to Beyond Good and Evil and enjoyed it just as much as I did when I first played it. I'm giving Beyond Good and Evil a first impression score of 4.75 out of 5. Since we barely scratched the surface of Beyond Good and Evil, my score could very well be changed to a solid 5 out of 5. The sad thing is, many of the fans of the original have been waiting for a sequel to this game that director Michael Ansel, who also created the Rayman series,
to be absolutely unmanageable. An utter loss of face for the Magic Peoples, of course.
wanted to be part of a trilogy. Michael Ansel ended up resigning from Ubisoft back in 2020, and the second game in the series, which was supposed to be a prequel, is still stuck in limbo, and after 15 years still has no direction or idea what it's doing, and it just sucks, because even as someone who didn't play through Beyond Good and Evil fully through, I still want a sequel to this game, because just the world that it created is just something that I feel like, at least an anime or TV series, something. I just feel this world that's been created here is just needs to be explored even further, and more stories that come about from it. Alright, now I'm going to hand the mic off to Rocky for his thoughts on Beyond Good and Evil.
Beyond Good and Evil is a 2003 video game that was released on various platforms, including PlayStation, Xbox, and GameCube, and it is considered one of the best games ever made. The story follows the adventure adventures of Jade, an investigative reporter, martial artist, and spy working with the resistance movement to reveal a sinister alien conspiracy. Players control Jade and other allies, solving puzzles, fighting enemies, and obtaining photographic evidence. So basically this game plays as a little bit of everything. You have some platformer aspects to it, you have some combat game aspects, there's some strategy aspects, and I really enjoy things such as the camera that keep it kind of fresh and interesting, and also allows for a way for the player to get new information without it being just directly told to them over the HUD or in some other fashion. It allows for almost like a Pokedex type thing where when you pull up your camera and you look at something, it'll give you a little information about it, and I definitely like that. I also enjoy just the different atmospheres of this game. It feels very kind of creepy and atmospheric at times, while also being very kind of light and keeping you engaged and interested in the graphics on screen. And the variation in gameplay is continued via things such as water boats that you can go and sometimes you have to repair them, and you can go through and get to new areas, including different islands, that will take you to entirely new locations within the map. This keeps you guessing on what's going to happen next and where you're going to be traveling after this, and allows for a bit of an expansion on kind of what I expected to get from this game. On top of that, you have sidekick characters such as this fat fucking pig, and I say that literally because it is a fat fucking pig. However, you use the pig. Hey, shut the fuck up, Jason. This is my moment. I'm on the mic right now. You basically use your secondary characters to solve puzzles or to fight back against various enemies. I really enjoy the enemies as well, and their makeup is very unique to this game and its own style. They look very Alien and Tremors-esque at times, while other times they have like fucking jellyfish and all sorts of variations on these enemies. And I definitely do like sometimes the special attacks that can be used, based upon where you're at and who your sidekick character is. However, the one thing that I do need to complain about the sidekick character is that they can get stuck behind and really fuck up your overall playthrough if you're trying to speed through something, or if you're just trying to move around something because you're having a hard time. For example, the fat fucking pig kept getting us caught on the bridge that we were trying to go through that had tons of fucking enemies on it, and I had to end up going back and just kill the enemies instead of getting to run past them like I initially wanted, because the fat fucking idiot just couldn't get it right. Another kind of annoying thing can be the fact that you'll have these doors that you have to have two people stand on, the pads, in order to get through it, and that can be a bit annoying at times when the AI wants to go back and fight things rather than going and standing on the pad. And I think having a simple command button to say, hey, this is where you should go, would have probably fixed this issue in general. I think the game at times does a bad job of just throwing all these enemies at you at once rather than making the enemies diverse and interesting, and I do think that you go for quite a while without actually getting a boss. Now listen, maybe we're just slow and we were fucking up our playthrough, but I think generally getting to the boss a bit quicker to kind of show off the gameplay mechanics and skills is definitely a good idea usually. I like how the missions are kind of set up and how you go talk to various people in order to find out more information or do new stuff. And on top of that, I like the fact that you kind of have a hub area that you continue to go back to in order to talk to your sidekicks in order to further the mission. And again, there's just a lot of really unique and interesting and very fun aspects to this game. It keeps you really intrigued and engaged throughout by constantly changing what you're doing, how you're doing it, and even the landscape that you're doing it on. I think that for a GameCube game, this was a very forward-thinking video game and really captured the essence of what a timeless game can really be. It's really fun, and I cannot stress enough how much I would recommend playing it. Right now, I mean, this is a first impression, but honestly, I'm going to toss it a 4 out of 4. I think that maybe in the future, this might go down to a 3.75 for a little bit of the level design, because as the last time that we played, we kind of kept getting caught going in a circle, but that could have just been an easy mistake on our end, so I'm not going to flaw it for that yet. On top of that, I did forget to mention the level design is pretty solid. It doesn't really have any reason to make you continuing to come back for multiple playthroughs, but it's vast enough and interesting enough to keep you going through. So I definitely recommend, if you can get your hands on this in any way possible, definitely go give it a try, because it's a very, very good and very fun game. Alright, let me toss it over to Jason.
Thank you, Rocky, and now we want to hear from you. Have you played Beyond Good and Evil? Will Beyond Good and Evil ever get a sequel? Probably not. Let us know in the comments down below. Also down below, you will find the description where me and my brother Rocky's all over the socials are located, as well as the link to our main channel, Smokin Sessions, where we do movie reviews, watch-alongs, and all sorts of content that we're sure you'll enjoy. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like as well as hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on videos like this from us in the future. Thank you so much for watching and or listening to this video, and we will see you all in the next gaming session.
I spaced out of my head to the depths of the universe. It's a spell or a chance just to open up a newer curse.
Jade! Jade! Sweet Jesus, quick, sir! Jade!